What is good, everybody, and welcome back to Monday Night in the Pit, the show where your comments and responses are featured here. On Sunday, I asked you guys, should Halo Infinite have a Battle Royale mode? Why or why not? Would it work? And yeah, I know it's Wednesday, very busy. Normal life job stuff has been stressful, and then Beyond Light is coming out today when I'm recording this. So just everything is ridiculous this year, man. Feels like time is compressing. So over 200 responses. You guys rock. Let's go. I'll try and take some of the feedback I heard from you guys last time. So I'll put the comments in a new spot, and hopefully it's a little bit easier to read up there. So starting with Phalanx, I think it should. If they make it correctly, it can really benefit Halo's sandbox. And for everyone saying it would interrupt the development of everything else, they could just hire another company to do it. That's a very interesting thought, Phalanx, and I think this will come up throughout most of the comment responses is, as long as it doesn't take away from what's normally expected from a Halo game, sure, why not? So maybe contracting it out could work? We'll have to wait and see. Josh, despite me not personally liking Battle Royale modes, I think it would be fine so long as the assets made for it are not solely for the Battle Royale mode. That is, if the map was usable in Forge and the BR specific elements like drop animations or random weapon spawners and closing play areas can all be used as custom tools for the other parts of the multiplayer. You know, that's a thought I didn't really even think about, dude. That is pretty dang cool. If the elements from the BR mode could be implemented in Forge, the potential is pretty high for some creative, unique things. Jay Schneider, I think so, just because Halo has always had that sandbox multiplayer experience. They have all the elements you really need for a fun Battle Royale game. Tight shooting mechanics, variety of weapons, multiple vehicle types, big open maps, armor, bubble shield, and other abilities. I think a Halo BR game would do really well, especially on PC. You know, the more I hear about it from you guys, the more I get excited thinking of like drop pods and all sorts of Halo thematics that could totally play well into BR. Legitty. As long as it has good sandbox balance and maps, why not? Why not indeed? T-Roy? I mean, multi-team BTB is basically already a BR mode, so I think it would fit. I just don't want them to cannibalize other parts of the game for its sake. Yeah, and that would be my biggest concern here too, again, is if they deliver with Infinite all the expectations that we have, which are lofty, like we have come to expect a lot from a Halo title, which is justified because in the past this franchise has delivered industry-defining FPS releases back in 07 and 04. But if it takes away from those expected delivery elements and it feels like it's a replacement for some stuff, man, I could see some negative backlash to that. Mickey, although a BR mode would be a cool idea in Halo due to the BR's replayability, I believe the sandbox in Halo is meant to have just wouldn't allow the idea to fully flourish. Certain weapons are meant more as utility, while others are meant for killing the player off. Implementing the down system would defeat the purpose of the sandbox. An example of how wonky it could be is if you shoot someone with a rocket launcher but it doesn't down them because of their armor level. The same can be applied inversely. You die immediately from a rocket launcher even though you have the best armor in the game. Halo should instead focus on building up its big team battle, since that mode has been one of the most popular during its life. The 45v45 invasion mode I keep hearing about online can be a good replacement to BR if BTB for some reason is not the focus. I must be out of the loop. I don't know what that 45v45 rumor thing is, but that sounds cool. And yeah, BTB is a staple that does drive a lot of players. Most of the friends that I have when we hop on to play MCC, it's almost exclusively BTB. Michael Minkler, yeah, because that is the meta of FPS, and everybody knows it. It's definitely the trend right now. I'm curious where it will be in the next 3 to 4 years. I see BR being just an included mode that's sort of expected in most FPS games moving forward, but I don't think it'll be the darling of the industry that it was last year moving forward. I think it'll be cool, but something else is going to come along that evolves the formula, I think. Alex Miranda, it can work. We drop down from drop pods, and inside them, we have a pistol and one nade. Loot is spread out throughout the map. Covenant spawn randomly, but are set to easy mode so that players don't or can't die by them unless the player is really a noob, just to make it fair for everyone. Vehicles have limited ammo, so they are not abused. Examples, tanks, 10 shells and 250 round turret, Banshees, 5 plasma shots, 50 plasma balls, I don't know what you would call them, rapid plasma rounds, Warthog 300 rounds, you get the point. Okay. It can work, but would players play it should be the question. And since we are on the topic of Battle Royale, why not a Battlefield-style Halo game? 100 players or more on a map, Spartans versus Covenant, would be amazing. Yeah, Reach Invasion, I think, toyed with that idea and was really cool. A higher player count Invasion could be super, super rad. But when you bring these things up and I think about the vehicles, could you imagine Squad Battle Royale Halo where you find a Warthog and your buddies hop in? Like, there is huge potential here. I just don't know if it would take so much work to make something like this, you know what I mean? But it could be a really nice fit in this universe. I'm Khan. Yes, because there's no negative side effect to making one, and because it could bring more people into Halo. I think the negative side effect could be if it takes resources away from delivering, again, what's expected. You'll hear this echo just because I want a content-rich, feature-rich Halo game at launch. And I worry the optics of if they chase the trend of BR and if it looks like it takes away from any of the expected things, like maybe not enough maps or not enough game modes or whatever at launch, it could be a negative implication for the game. But yeah, I'd play it. I'd totally play it, man. Moist Manatee. What a name. I mean, it's another mode to play. I'd be down, especially with this one being quasi-open world. They could totally just take part of the map and plop a couple dozen players on it. That's true too. I didn't even think about it, but from the campaign demo we saw, it looks like a pretty big play space. Chupa thingy. Sure, why not? Personally, I'm not a fan of BR and most likely will not play it if Infinite has one, but anything that attracts players from different communities or brings back certain players to Halo is a good thing. My only issue with it is if the incorporation of a BR mode hurts the game in other areas like custom games and Forge and other classic Halo features. If they add the BR in addition to these standard and expected game modes without the quality of either the BR or the standard stuff suffering, then I have no issue with adding more content, right? But personally, I would say making sure you have effective Forge, custom games, firefight, customization, and theater mode at launch is more important to Battle Royale. 10 out of 10, Chupa. Woo! I agree, man. Preach. Drop the mic. Let's go. One thing I do want to point out here before we hop into the next comment is I was just looking it up. I think Call of Duty Warzone now has 65 million registered players, and I think Modern Warfare, the last numbers I saw, is around 30 million for copies sold. So the Battle Royale element of Warzone vastly overshadows that of its full price counterpart. I imagine you have to get into this unique world. If they made a super sweet BR, what does the future of traditional Halo look like if they were to go that direction? It's fun to think about. Obviously, we're in total speculation mode, but for COD, I mean, look at how Warzone has exploded so much to where FPS YouTubers from other scenes, that's really what they're covering. Like the Battlefield guys, Jack Frags and Level Cap, Warzone is a big staple of their channel now. Thornburner YouTube. Yeah, I think it needs a BR. Not great at BR games, but don't mind. Thanks for the comment. Gabriel Davin. Yeah, it would be another BR for me to get addicted to. Nice. Billy the Catfish. They should make one after launch. Yeah, that could be coming down the road. That's an interesting thought too. .jpg. 343 should focus on getting what's in front of them spot on first. This is pretty much their last chance with getting Halo right. First, get a good enough campaign and multiplayer going since they want Infinite to be a service game, and a BR could come down the road when things are looking better. I like that one too. I think that's the smartest option. And from all the news and the rumors we've been hearing about Infinite so far, who knows where they're at in development. The White Boy. As someone who's never been the biggest fan of Battle Royales, I think Halo would benefit greatly from A1 with its own twist on things. If you could drop in ODST Helltrooper style, maybe in teams of 5 with access to an armada of different vehicles, and all the weapons in Infinite Sandbox, fighting other ODST forces, and controlling objectives while simultaneously fighting off hordes of flood forms with a Covenant cruiser glassing a crazy huge map from above, I think it could be really something special. Of course, it would have to be the classic Halo feel of having guaranteed heavy weapons and vehicles at fixed locations around the map. I think Infinite has the perfect sandbox setup for a BR mode. Interesting. Sounds ambitious, but I'd play it. Sir Gabriel, if it fits in with all the other standard modes, then I'm totally down. Like a big Forge world with 100 players. If it's like Halo 5 Warzone, where it's completely separated from the rest of the game, then I'll pass. We need to bring everyone together, not put people into subgroups. It's an interesting thought on Warzone. It's funny now when we say Warzone, I just think of Call of Duty, but yeah, Halo 5 Warzone, I didn't see it as being fully separate from the game. I know there were sub-communities that developed, and most of my friends were either, you knew who was the arena buddy and who was the Warzone buddy. So that is a fair point, but I don't know how you encourage cross-pollination between those two modes. No, it shouldn't. If people want a BR, they can make it in custom games. That would be cool, but I think BR requires more than probably the tool set that'll be available to us. I could be wrong, but I've seen some of the Halo 5 Forge BR stuff, and that is really cool. I don't want to minimize that in any way, but for this to be attractive from a marketing standpoint and to try and pull in a whole new slew of people into the Halo universe who maybe have never played before, I think it has to be more than just a Forge palette in a custom game. Oh, here we go. Oh. If it didn't come at the cost of other features, I see no reason why it shouldn't be there, but unless they outsource the development, which is unlikely and would be scary to be honest, then it probably would impede on the main game's content schedule. So it sounds like contract it out, get another studio involved, let's get the COD route going where you've got multiple studios in the mix. MCC contracted out a lot of its work to like Splash Damage for the Halo 3 thing, and can't remember the name of the other studio right now. So they do have professional relationships with supporting studios. Stormdiver, what's good, man? It's always great to have more ways to play the game, so I'd love to see it added as long as it doesn't come at the cost of the other classic modes, much like how Halo 5 launched without Griffball and Infection. Yeah, man, I am very nervous that we'll see a similar thing with Infinite. I don't want that to occur. Take your time, you delayed the game, launch feature-rich and content-rich, because Halo 5 lost a lot of momentum because it was missing things like Infection and BTB and Griffball at launch. Ryro Gaming. It should, in my opinion, because it needs to be able to compete with other large titles such as COD, Fortnite, Battlefield, Apex. It can have one and also have an arena multiplayer as well. It would really benefit from having it because there is a new generation of gamers who enjoy watching Battle Royale style games, as seen by their extreme popularity on Twitch. It would bring lots of new players into the franchise and also provide a fresh take on the Halo universe. Hardcore OGs will still have the full suite of arena game modes to play, while the free-to-play players can play the BR, similar to how it plays out on Modern Warfare with Warzone. Great comment, Ryro. And if you guys have been watching the channel since 2014, you know I sort of lean towards the classic side of Halo. I am concerned, Halo's sort of fallen out of the echelon, it feels like, of the top 5 big FPS games, and the scene has changed so much in the last 3 or 4 years. Without innovation and without taking some chances, I don't know if Halo can regain a place in that top 5 circle that it, had back in 2007, started tapering off after Reach, but BRs are no doubt popular right now, and you do need to win some sort of equity or ground on Twitch. You need some streamer support in order for the popularity of these things to blossom, and a BR mode would definitely attract attention. Lots of great comments, you guys. Over 200 comments. I try to make this week's show a little bit longer to include even more of them, but again, if you want to be featured on next Monday Night in the Pit, keep an eye out on Sundays on the community tab. That is where I ask you these questions. Thanks for the feedback. I read through the rest of them, and the overwhelming sentiment is what was echoed here from you guys. Sure, why not? But definitely make sure you get the bare necessities of the expected game correct before you go off creating a brand new mode. So we'll just have to wait and see. Everything is, like I said, speculation town. So we're left sort of having these hypothetical conversations. Hopefully soon we'll get some more concrete info and we can begin discussing those elements instead of just sort of formulating the what ifs and then sort of statements. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you have a great week. I know I'm really looking forward to Destiny 2 Beyond Light. I've been playing D2 again for the last month. Been meaning to get a video up to you guys just talking about the lapsed player experience coming back. So looking forward to Beyond Light. Looking forward to Halo 4's release, which I think is next week. Lots of games are coming out right now. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next one.